And then you can go to Watch Dr. Mo. There's Neil. Oops, hold on. Let me hit the invite. There we go. And let me hit mute. There we go. Perfect. So we are up and running. Go to Watch Dr. Mo. You can hang out here. We are hanging out talking about GLP-1s, anything in that kind of realm, whether it is you lost weight, you want to lose weight, you can't lose weight, you want to make your life better, your job sucks. I don't know. We'll talk about it all. We're good. Whatever we want to do.
A little bit of everything.
Little bit of everything. But this is not medical advice. We do run a medical practice called Active Medical Solutions. That is at amstelehealth.com. If you want to go check out our states that we do serve medically. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Anna. And so if you want to get in under medical care, that's where you go. It just dawned on me. I don't think we have a link for the coaching. Anyway, Dr. Mo coaching is if you are not in our states or you want other coaching, it's pretty high level. We do health, wealth, and relationships. Lots of work stuff, lots of practicality stuff, making your life better, building a life you don't need a vacation from, and being happy in your own skin. So anyhow, that is at drmocoaching.com. The medical care is at amstelehealth.com. All of our states are there. Lots are in, well, we are in Texas. So physically, let's see.
Did you do a disclaimer already?
I just said not medical advice.
Okay.
Not relationship advice, not financial advice, not legal advice.
Not HIPAA compliant.
Not HIPAA compliant. This is a social media chat. Don't get your medical advice from social media, but feel free to ask general questions. Okay. Good. This is a good one. I don't know how many calories to eat. I work out and I'm doing all the things. Hi, Julie.
Yeah, she's also stuck at 5 months or for 5 months at 193 on Zepbound. That and what dose are you on?
So, but while you hold on, let me see if you
Or wait for that.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Because I don't think calories for most of our patients, we haven't had to calculate most of the time. Most of the time, it's just like, hit your protein goal, and the rest of the stuff typically will fall in line. Typically for women, it's around 100 grams of protein. Men are around 150. And you can always err on the side a little bit higher as long as you don't have any kind of a kidney issue or other problem with eating high protein. So she's already on 15 milligrams. So yeah, this is where I guess we can talk about pillars, like all the things that to do in addition to max dose that. Sometimes, we do our pillars, which would be protein first. Like I said, 100 grams for women. How much protein to eat? 100 grams. That's where I would start. And it takes time to get there if you're not doing that. If you're normal, most people eat like 30 to 50 grams of protein a day. So you're looking at double that. Some people do move over to like protein shakes to kind of help supplement that. I like a big protein shake for breakfast. That 30 to 40 gram protein shake for breakfast keeps you fuller longer, gets you fuller faster, and it helps maintain your muscle mass, which is your fat burning machine, which at the end of all this, you still want muscle left over. Are you drinking out of that cup?
No, that's my apples. That's my apples.
Okay.
I have a toddler meal this morning. I have apple slices in the Nemo cup and a protein shake that is birthday cake flavor.
120 down with AMS. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah. So Elsie, I'm trying to type in the thing that we need to look at that and repost it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do too many things at one time.
Yeah, Anna, if you start focusing on that protein goal, you might not need to count calories. Otherwise, what I would do is I would add up, like get an app. A lot of them are free. Add up everything you're eating for the day to kind of see where your calories are. And then that's when you start messing with it. Because if you're not losing weight and you're eating 1,400 calories a day, you need to decrease that to lose weight. So yeah, that's where I would go with that.
Yeah, I agree. It's like the calorie calculators only go so far. And if you're hitting protein, I mean, my diet's completely macro based.
Yeah.
So I make sure I get the protein. I'm at 120. Not the easiest thing in the world, which is why I do 2 shakes a day, because there's no other way I can do it,
Yeah. And if you're still hungry, like let's say you're doing shakes to get your protein in and you're like starving all the time, switch to whole foods And even if that's like small, like 20 grams of protein, like 5 times a day, like itty bitty meals, then that's what it needs to be. But if you eat solid foods, it will keep you fuller way longer than a protein shake. Liquids kind of go through you pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes, like, if I don't have an appetite, the thought of eating chicken is like, no.
Chicken stuff for me. I think fish is, for me, fish is the easiest protein to eat because it's so light and flaky. So if you don't mind fish, some white fish is great.
I agree. I agree. Fish is definitely the easiest for me. Do you have any good fish recipes?
Typically I just kind of like season it like little salt and pepper for my swai. And then I just kind of put like a Parmesan cheese on top of it and then just bake it. And then like once it's pretty much done, I will broil it just to kind of crisp up the cheese on top. Good to go.
All
A lot of
right.
times I'll use a little bit of avocado oil on top just to kind of so it crisps up a little bit better.
All right.
I'm saying avocado just in case there's that question.
Just so Amanda doesn't break out in hives, don't say avocado.
Avocado. I follow the chef and that's how he says it. So
Avocados? You're not. Who do I know that's allergic
No,
to
I love avocados. I'm allergic to carrots and apples and some nuts and soy and but no, I love avocados.
I thought you were the avocado one. Okay, sorry.
avocado. So
Avocado.
Anna's
No, it's
asking,
because of the latex. But no, I can still eat avocados.
You can't just rub
Like
them on.
kiwi.
can't wear
Kiwi is
avocado.
the other one. Kiwi is the best.
They didn't make
Okay.
Weird.
All right. So Anna's asking, what is a body weight set point? Someone told me I was in that.
You can do it.
I gave her a comment.
Okay.
But elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, so basically it's where your body kind of adapts to at that point. Sometimes, yes, you might get to a little set point before your body loses again, but you will, as long as you keep doing the same things, it'll kind of get going. And then typically, like she said, like she wrote there, the 3 months at the same to reset. A lot of times if you're at, like, let's say you get to your goal weight and you're there long enough, your body starts to adapt to that weight. So it's a lot easier to stay at that weight. Like, let's say if you come off the medications or stop your theoretical diet. Yes. So this is where, like, I would start with the protein first and see if you can get yourself going just by increasing your protein, which will hopefully decrease your overall calories. Otherwise, you got to decrease calories to get going again. And the best way to do it, I mean, you can just like use a formula and say, oh, I need to eat 1,200 calories a day. I personally would just add up my food and average it like 3 days for the week. And then subtract, if I'm not losing weight, start subtracting and keeping track of what you're eating.
And Courtney's not here today, but Letty just said, I've been in a 4-month stall, have 10 to 15 more to goal. Frustrating. Yes, absolutely. And I was thinking about this today. So when Courtney would stall or when she wasn't losing weight, especially in the beginning, I said, cut your dinner in half. And we've done that with a couple of patients. Literally, you are eating more than your body needs. Like, you're supporting your current body weight. So if you're at a stall, take, like Neil said, record what your food is. That's your baseline. Like that is what your body needs right now to live and maintain its weight, right? And you're like, but the formula says I need 500 calories more. Well, good, because if you eat 500 calories more, you're going to gain weight. Period. End of story, right? So the formulas only go so far. You have to look at, we're all notoriously poor at logging. I'm not saying like, I'm not insulting people saying like you suck. Even dietitians have up to a 30% error rate in logging food because it's reality. So, but the thing you do know is that you are always consistently logging the food. So up in calories, lower in calories, more exercise, less exercise. So you need less calories or more exercise or both. I mean, I don't mean to be like, we'll quote Courtney on this, the mathematical hard truth. It is what it is. Like there's no way to get past it. And sometimes like I was at the same weight for 8 months and I wasn't trying to lose anymore because I didn't think I needed to. And then I lost weight and I thought, wow, I feel so much better. Oh, there's that. I had to drastically drop to make my body move. I don't have to stay there, but for a little bit, I had to drastically drop like I did when I was at the beginning with Manjaro, because for my body to say, oh, I need to start burning the fat off my belly instead of what she's shoving in her pie hole. It's just what I personally had to do. And you can do it slowly. You can do it by dropping 100 or 200 calories a day, but you're not going to see it long enough to not screw it up on the weekends, right? Because you're not going to get enough progress.
And the other thing you mentioned, you have to keep track of everything. So if you're cooking, toss in a piece of stuff here in your mouth while you're cooking, you have to add that. When you're using condiments, you have to measure them.
You can't
Some
talk
of those
about condiments on TikTok.
like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, like they come in, is like 170 calories. So like if you eat a couple of those sauces at Chick-fil-A, like that's why you're not losing weight right there. Just the sauces at lunch.
Yeah. And it's my fitness trainer says don't use any sauces, really. Keep it pretty.
Safe sauces are like hot sauce. There's nothing else in it.
Safe condiments, Neil. Now we're really going to get in trouble on TikTok. We're talking about safe condiments.
Yeah, safe condiments. Mustard, pretty much calorie-free one. And then you're looking at like vinegar, salt, and pepper, like learn to season. Those are the best like bodybuilding tricks that I could teach you there.
And that's exactly my fitness trainer, I say, is bodybuilder. So, you can tell. Look at this. Just kidding. Neil looks like a bodybuilder. Me? No. I look like Bugs Bunny in the cartoons.
This chick invests how to treat my site reactions. Tried everything. Each one leaves a dark mark.
Dark mark?
I wonder if it's like a dark red. It's just her skin tone maybe causes it to leave more.
Okay, could be.
So different things we have tried, like over-the-counter, like hydrocortisone cream, Benadryl cream for some people, an oral antihistamine, Claritin, Allegra, Zyrtec. Benadryl, I think, works the best. It just makes people sleepy. So that sucks. Someone mentioned Flonase at one point. We're using Flonase to keep it away. And then the easiest thing without drugging yourself or using anything, try drawing up your medicine, leave it on the counter. So it like gets to room temperature before injecting. Some people have had success using that method as well.
And then sometimes it just goes away after about 6 months.
Yes. And then sometimes you might inject a new spot and then all your old spots pop up red. Super weird.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's a bizarre one. All right. I'm getting all these, like, invite everybody. I'm just trying to, I need questions. There we go. All right. What do we got? Yeah. So it's really, and I love the Courtney term of a mathematical hard truth. If you're stalled, you need somebody to tell you that starve mode is a myth and you need to lower your calories. Not necessarily forever. I mean, that's not, because a medically supervised low calorie diet is not sustainable and or good for you long term. So don't do that.
Yep. Her site gets itchy again when she injects. Yep, that happens to some people, unfortunately. And we've seen some people get these huge, like dinner plate size welts after an injection.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, a friend got them like for the first 9 months she did it. And she's like, I don't care. I'm living a life not run by food. Don't care. I'll deal with the red spot.
It's unfortunate. One of the nurses at work that was happening to, and they weren't even that big. They were the size of maybe like a saucer. And her doctor took her off Monjuro and put her back on like Saxenda. They said it was allergic reaction, not safe. I'm like, it's normal. It's normal.
Okay, so I was thinking this morning, speaking of what we were talking about before, I love shot day, not gonna lie. I do, especially this week, because last week was a nightmare.
And Shiley just submitted her info. We'll get you started.
Yes. So I was thinking about this earlier today. What makes AMS different, right? Because I was thinking about this because I'm trying to be a better, I'm trying to get to the people that we need to help, right? Because I do a lot of work on Facebook and I do a lot of work trying to help people. And then I realize I am trying to convince people that they need help. This is stupid. Like, this is dumb.
I don't know about that. It's more like what I think is we're here to help if you want it.
Well, yes, that's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
Those are our people. If you're like, dude, I need help. We're here. We got you. Whether you're public like this or, our patients in our states, we're here to help the people that want it. like some people don't know this help is there. Oh, that's a hell of a question. Okay, that's a statement. I like that. They don't. And I even get questions. My favorite is, what's a GLP-1? I'm like, where have you been living? What have you been doing? But again,
Well,
because we've lived this.
then the
It's
news just calls everything Ozempic, you know,
sick, man.
everything's Ozempic face, Ozempic butt. So
Yeah. Which brings me to the elephant in the room. Ozempic butt. Elephant butt. Um, sorry. Do we think compounding will go away?
I just followed a new Facebook group that's for nurse practitioners starting businesses, and I haven't got a chance to yet, but she just had a live stream with some lawyers, and also got a response to that post that said, was from a gal who worked at a pharmacy and said there's too many loopholes. It's can't happen that quick.
Okay.
And another thought I had is we haven't heard of any of the pharmacies getting letters. I think they're going for the low hanging fruit, is what it seems like. The people like, who had just a few patients, it's just a low hanging fruit to get the scare tactic out of there. I don't think they really, at this point, have a leg to stand on to totally shut it down, because if they did, they'd go after the pharmacies. So who is doing that? Did you see that? Did you do that?
That was Jill. I saw it. I'm like, that's fantastic. I love it. Do whatever you're doing. Keep doing it.
But I mean, that's my thoughts on it, is that right now it's just scare tactics, low hanging fruit. Otherwise, they'd be going straight for the pharmacy.
well, right now it's not on shortage. So right now everything is a scare tactic because they can't shut anybody down from doing it. From my readings, there's a patent attorney that's on Reddit that has talked about it and has looked at it, and they say, some are not rock solid. They're like, Eli Lilly's for tirzepatide is rock solid. They're like, there's no loopholes in this one. So I don't know about Novo Nordis's, but it sounds like tirzepatide is pretty rock solid. But it depends on how they interpret the law, basically. If mixing it with another medication makes it something new, some lawyers say it does, other ones say no. So
Right.
it'll
Well,
be
Tracy said it's still on the shortage list. So until it's officially off the shortage list, which takes at least 4 months for them to prove they can meet the demand.
Yeah.
I mean, if everyone no, and people will say, well, I can't afford it. So I guess maybe here's my plea for everyone who can afford it, right? And I will do this as well. I will vow to do this. I will pay the $5.50 a month to go buy it, to put that shit back on shortage. You know what I'm saying? So everyone who can afford it, because we know there's a gradation. I can move around some stuff in my life to get it. I know it's just one person, right? But maybe one person can make a difference. So if you can't afford to buy brand, buy the brand. And if you're on a higher dose, it's really close to $5.50 anyway. Because if Eli Lilly's saying they're all available, and that said, I keep adding it to the FDA website. Thank you.
Yeah, you and everybody on Reddit. There's a whole Reddit thread about that.
Yeah, I seriously, I never think that they will be able to meet the demand. I just don't. Oh my God, I got a new study today. It's on my phone. That Eli Lilly did a study for 3 years on pre-diabetics. And do you know how many people it reversed the pre-diabetes? 94%.
I was going to say like all but one.
Right. One. No.
Who didn't take it because they were scared of shots?
I know, right? I know. But
I just had an in-person patient who, it was her first visit with me, and she's 51, PCOS, clear menopause belly, just got put on a statin, is on lisinopril 40. And as we're wrapping it up, has anyone ever talked to you about GLP-1? And her hackles immediately went up because she's so tired of every doctor she sees saying, I want you to lose weight, and just saying, I want you to lose weight. And I said, look, that's not why I'm talking to you about this. I'm talking to you about this because I see you're on a statin. I see you have PCOS. You're here for, vaginal bleeding that's getting out of control. All of this, all of that. And you know what you want to talk about? Oops. She's like, but nothing's going to decrease these. I said, yes, it will. I said, double H to barely a double D. So gotcha on that one too.
There you
So
go.
I told her, it's not just, and she wasn't morbidly obese. I said, I'm not talking to you about this because I think you absolutely 100% need to lose weight. I really don't care. You're honestly not at that terrible of a weight. I want you to get off your statin. I want you to be able to decrease your blood pressure medicine. I want you to feel better and maybe wear a smaller bra. But
I want your back to feel better because your boobs will be smaller.
Yeah. But yeah, she's like, nothing would change that. I said, you know what? It did. Nothing ever changed that for me before. This did. So
it absolutely changes it. It absolutely changes it. Tracy's funny. I want them to get their money since they made these great meds, but since they can't, but they can get it from the insurances that cover it. Leave mine alone. I love that. But Mark, hey, how you doing, by the way? Oh man, we say boobs and we get comments filtered. Interesting to see what other industries will be affected when masses of people lose the weight. There's two that I can absolutely think of off the top of my head. First of all, the potato chip people.
All the snack industry.
Whatever, the snack industry. I'm like, why can't I think of the word? Don't mind me. It's fine. But yes, the snack industry is already seeing a decrease with the Ozempic effect. Little Debbie's getting littler. But you know who else is going to see a difference? I don't know if they'll lower their costs. They won't because of fuel costs, but airlines, it will be cheaper to fly people. Like it is downstream effect that we do not see coming. Well, we did at AMS. I love that. We're like, nope, we saw all of it coming. But yeah, it's a huge shift. It really is. It really is. If you take, it's funny because my book that I did move, admittedly, I moved the launch to January because I just had too much on my plate. So I had to chuck something and I want to do more interviews. So, but my book is called Shift, and it's actually about successful professionals who are looking for peace, freedom, and financial independence. Well, that's the same shift. People are sick of living a shitty life. That's about it.
The test snares. Has anyone stayed at a low dose and been successful? Yeah, we have one. I don't think she went up to 5 like one time and it made her horribly sick, and she's been at 2.5 and has lost, I want to say 70 pounds. So some people, and even Dr. Gibbons, it's, pretty much for maintenance is here and there had to go up to 7.5, but most of her weight was 2.5 and 5.
Yep. I'm at 5. You know what I was thinking? So last week, if you guys were on last week, I was a ravenous lunatic. I mean, I don't know what the hell was going on. Like, it was like, not only did I inject water, I injected the please make me hungrier. It was, my cravings were out of control. My food noise was terrible. I think I put on 4 or 5 pounds last week. Like, it's just, I got rid of all the food in the house, by the way. Like, we haven't had ice cream in weeks by design. Thank you very much to my family. But like anything else that could be misconstrued as a binge food got thrown out. But I thought about this because I thought I should probably text Neil. Do I stay at 7.5 this week or do I go down to 5? I said, go down to 5. 5 has been my dose for so long. It was a weird week. Don't go up. Don't freak out. And that's a big part of it. Don't freak out. Just make it to Monday. And I'm at 5 and I'm totally fine this week.
Hormone stress, one of the two,
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to add one thing we were talking about, like basically Eli Lilly, and then coming off shortage. So, because I see a lot of posts on Reddit, and a lot of people are saying that like they don't want the bad press of like taking this away from people and all this other stuff of losing compounded. They don't want the bad publicity. They don't care even a little bit. They are $1 billion company and they're there to make money. If they cared, insulin wouldn't be so damn expensive. At least with insulin, it's life-saving. People actually will die without insulin. No one's going to die without Mounjaro. And they still don't give a shit. So That when when people say like they don't want the bad publicity, they don't care. They don't care about you one way. They just want your money. So pay them. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, they have a product and I was talking about that this morning with my banker, which is weirdly odd that we got in this discussion.
Yeah.
Because people say, oh, big pharma wants to keep us sick. They don't think that hard. They developed an awesome product and they're going to sell it.
Yep.
That's it. Like
They want everybody on it for the rest of their lives, but they want you to pay for it.
Right. A lot.
All right. I'm assuming, is it okay to have a small dessert or a little bit of chocolate with tirzepatide? Absolutely. Don't make yourself crazy. You can eat pretty normal if you want it. If you are craving McDonald's fries, go get a small fry, eat a couple fries, throw the rest out if you want.
Yep.
You can absolutely live it. Like the whole point, I think, of this, as opposed to like restricting, like, okay, no carbs, no fats, and all this, is you can live a pretty much normal life and eat normal foods with your family. It's just you eat less of them when you go to do this.
Yeah. And if you plan your breakfast, your lunch, and have whatever dinner, a small amount, whatever. Yes. Oh, Mark said, doctors think you need to hydrate up. Don't agree. Well, so here's the deal. You do need fluids. Do I track my fluids? No, that's like the one thing I do not track. I just don't. I don't know why. I drink one electrolyte drink a day and I drink a shit ton of coffee. Should I be drinking more water? I drink a lot of LaCroix. I'm about to go get one and walk away so you can see my old fence. Oh yeah, hold on. Actually, we're going to move because you can have a better view. The sun moved. But I think you have to have adequate hydration, right? And you get to see my shirt and the boobs. Bought those. Just saying. That'll give me some views on TikTok, right? Just kidding.
2 boobs already. Talk a lot about boobs here today.
Right. We're not talking about boobs today. We are all about the boobs. So anyway, I don't know, Neil and Amanda, give me what you think about hydration while I go get hydration.
So with hydration, there's not a set number, because people ask all the time, like, how much should I drink? Is it 8 ounces, 8 times a day or whatever it is? It should be where your urine is pretty clear. Like if you're having dark urine, you're underhydrated and you're getting dehydrated and you need to drink more. And I would not, like she was talking about, like electrolytes, only live off water. Like you need an electrolyte drink here or there because you're not getting those electrolytes because you're not eating like you used to. So you just have to supplement them, just like with the protein shakes. You anything to add, Amanda?
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with getting electrolytes in. If I feel bad, and I've had multiple patients telling me about wooziness, headaches, even some of the queasiness, that to me, you amp up those electrolytes at that point when you're symptomatic like that, with something like the salt lick kind, the rapid IV, whatever you want to,
Liquid IV.
that definitely has, well, but I mean, there's liquid IV.
Oh, you're cutting out.
There's the Body Armor IV, Hydrate, Rapid Repair,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, there's also, everyone has the higher salt versions now. Because I think when you're symptomatic, that's what you need. It's what works for me for sure. I've got, a gal I ride with, and we were both pounding the liquid IV and the Rapid Body Armor ones this Sunday because we were out in the heat and both on Manjaro, and you just have to, because your body will not hold on to the water. It was.
Well, you'll amp in the ER with an IV. Like, I think there was like 4 posts I read yesterday on Reddit with people having to go to the ER because they're so dehydrated. Yeah, if your pee's dark, you got to catch up. Like you don't have to just drink more. You got to catch up and then stay ahead.
That's preventable. It's sips, just sip. That's what I do. This is not coffee any longer. It is LaCroix.
All right. Bethany is I'm on 10 and haven't lost anything, but I reversed diabetes in 3 months, but no weight loss. So with this, like I don't know if you were here in the beginning, I would first thing I would do would be focus on my protein, get into about 100 grams of protein per day for a female, and see if that helps a little bit curbing your appetite and making you eat overall less calories. Option 1. Option 2, increase your dose to get more appetite control, to get weight going, and or stay at that dose if you have good appetite control, and you just have to lower your overall calories. Unfortunately, like that's, you're eating it. If you're not losing, you're eating at maintenance.
Okay, I have to address Mark's comment because he's not a doctor, but he's one on TV. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. We got this, Mark. But I agree with the fasting. It's too hard to get calories in. Well, I shouldn't say that. It depends what you mean by fasting. I only eat for 13 hours out of the day or less because I need my brain to be free from food. Wait, other way around, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like 12, half of the day. I need my brain to be free from food for like half of the day because, and that's my brain. Has nothing to do with metabolic health. Fasting isn't magic. Fasting is a way we used. I'm not talking the religious fasting. That's different. But fasting is what we used to be able to get our calories under control because we couldn't do it before GLP-1s. So especially with hydration, I don't recommend fasting long term. Maybe if you want to do a 16 and 8, that's about as far as I would go.
So Lynette asked, a great electrolyte brand that's not too high in sugar or salt. So one, you want the salt because you're not getting it elsewhere unless there's a condition that you can't have salt, like you retain fluid, high blood pressure. Otherwise, yeah, I would just go to the store and go down that aisle and grab any of the light ones or the sugar-free ones and try them and see which ones you like. Some people love liquid IV. Other people, I think it tastes like seawater. That one has high salt. Body Armor Light's really good. Like Amanda mentioned, Gatorade Zero is really good. Prime Hydration is low calorie. I like that. It tastes really good. I have to water mine down. It's so good. So yeah, I would just go try a bunch and see which one you like. The best one for you is the one you'll actually drink. I think that's the easiest way to say it.
Yep. And if you don't like the taste of any of them, you can get Morton light salt and put a
Yes.
pinch of that in 1 bottle of water a day. You won't taste it.
And then Aldahana, I'm screwing up your name. I'm sorry. Would you say 2 times a week something sweet would be okay? Absolutely. Every day, if you want something sweet, like one little chocolate square every day, if that's what it takes for you and satiates you, that's fine. You don't have to like restrict yourself and be miserable. It's just one of those like, does one, if for you, 1 piece of chocolate turns into 10 candy or a whole bag of the Halloween candy, probably not a good idea to do every day. But yeah, a little piece like the after dinner mint, absolutely.
And I think one of the ways I get a sweet is my Groons, my gummies. So it's totally a treat, and it goes with the whole package of meeting my goals.
So Lynette, has your doctor told you that you have salt sensitive hypertension? Because if you have heart failure or volume overload, you can't have a lot of salt. So that's something to discuss with your doctor. If you do not have salt sensitive hypertension and only 1/3 of hypertension is salt sensitive, then you'd need to figure that out. Oh, Mark, I had that too. Since GLP could care less about sugar. That's the food noise bit. Like this week, it's really easy for me to follow the food plan that I put in my new coaching program. Because I did a 2-week reset because I realized what I did wrong with not wrong. The time when I went off of the very restrictive, non-inflammatory 16 days, when I went off, I realized I can't eat 5 times a day because then I'm eating all day long and that's all I'm doing. And then it just escalates from there. So
I think Bethany has a good question. So much conflicting info floating around. You say no fasting, another group says fasting is how you lose. 48 hours. Yes, you will lose weight in 48 hours if you don't eat, of course.
right.
At the end of the day, the way I see with these medications, because these medications are a tool to help you lose weight. They're not like fat burners or anything like that. Is to pick, at the end of the day, some people want to come off these medicines. So you need to find something sustainable. So if you decide to come off, that you can continue to live this way at the current weight that you get to versus ballooning right back up. Because with any diet, whether it's fasting, keto, carnivore, when you go back to eating normal, you will put all that weight back on because you're eating the way you ate before. So I would pick something that is sustainable. I like the Mediterranean style diet with a little bit higher lean proteins. Then you get your lean protein, you get your vegetables, and fats are in there too. It just, if you eat your proteins and veggies, then like fats, carbs, that kind of stuff, typically on these meds, you stay full, you'll learn to eat a little bit better. And then hopefully when you come off, it's sustainable and you can maintain your weight loss. But a 40-hour fast to maintain weight loss afterwards, you're not going to stick to it. Most people don't stick to keto because it's miserable. And this is someone who loves keto. I love keto, but it's, after like even 8 months, you're like, okay, I'm done with this. I want something crunchy. I want a chip. because you can't eat chips. And I'm sorry, all the Parmesan cheese chips in the world do not equal potato chips.
And you eat a lot of them, and they're
Yes.
pretty gross after a while.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree, Mark. I won't leave it. And that's cool. Like Mark said, if I add in carbs, they're good carbs. Good on ya if you can do it. Like last week, there were no good carbs in sight.
So Mark, yes and no. I have not. I was on semaglutide, lost my 35 pounds, and I have not put any back on.
Yes. So it's not a sure thing. And I think a lot
It's not.
depends on your head, right? Like now, here's the thing though, Neil. If you stayed on a low dose of semaglutide, would you have lesser cardiovascular risk in the future?
I've been thinking about doing that because I have semaglutide. It's just starting like go back to 0.25. It really probably won't do much for my appetite, and if it does, that's okay.
Right.
And with the plan to stay on it forever,
Because
for a long time.
even when my dad is done losing weight, he's like, well, then I'll go off. And I'm like, but why though? I'm like, you're 71 years old. Like, I would like you around as much as humanly possible.
Well, for me, it was
So
experimentation. Like I got to where I wanted, and like theoretically, you're supposed to come off, is what they say. But yeah, staying a low dose won't hurt you.
yeah, and that's exactly what
It's
we don't
more
know
of a financial issue if for a lot of people.
Right, absolutely. But if you're on a lower dose, I mean, even if you went 0.125, you still get benefits. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah. Mark's saying the studies prove you gain it back. So overall, people do gain some back, but I want to say in the studies it was 9%. They maintain 9% weight loss. So if they lost 22, they still maintain 9, which I still think is a win, and I still think that's better than bariatric surgery.
And better than not going on it in the first place. I will have people say, I'm not going to go on it because if I go off, I'm going to gain the weight back. That is a dumbass freaking thought process. That might get me in trouble on TikTok.
Who says come off? Well, your insurance, depending on your insurance. I know my insurance right now, as soon as your BMI drops below 30, you're done. You're done with the medicine. You don't need it anymore. You're not obese. You're just overweight. So good luck.
My God, I know, right? Does anybody have an in-body? Mark, you said you had your ECW ratio. Do you use an in-body scale?
While he's answering, I want to catch Letty's question from a while back. She was asking about Ozempic and Mounjaro comparable doses. The answer is they're supposed to compare, but they don't necessarily compare. So you need to drop down to the bottom again and work your way up to the effective dose of that medication.
Yeah. You might see there's a chart floating around that compares them like what you would do. And that's for glycemic control, like blood sugar control for diabetes. It is not for the weight loss effect that we're getting. Like Courtney was on, they got to like 10 or 12.5 Mounjaro. And when she switched to semaglutide, I think she assumed that she would have to get pretty high for it to be effective. And 1 milligram about killed her. If I remember, like that's way too much for her. I think she's like hovering around like, because she's on compound like 0.7, so like somewhere in between them, and it does a pretty good job. So there's not necessarily like 2 milligrams might mean you need 10. It might mean 5 milligrams for you is too much. So, but like Amanda says, yeah, you got to start low, work your way back up.
So Mark, you stopped and gained back 18 and a half. And you know what people will tell you? So here's the interesting thing. They'll say, well, it's because you didn't do the things you needed to do. No. That's kind of the whole point. Like if some of us are on this, it's not a moral failing. And, we used to talk about this a lot more in the beginning when people were like, oh my God, you're starting a drug. Yeah. Now we'll get the, oh my God, you're staying on a drug. Yeah. It's not a moral failing. And it is a biological imperative that your body will want to gain weight back, especially if you've been heavy before. Your body will drive you toward weight. Yeah. If brain pathways have been cemented in a way that it'll predispose you to that, you're not going to win against your brain. Right. Hunger came back. And that's exactly it. Your drive to eat. I don't have a full switch off of these drugs at all. I don't know. Like I never knew what full felt
like. And
it's
more if we don't know things. Like,
yeah.
There we go. Had you stayed, let's say you had stayed on the medicine at that dose at that weight for like 3 or 4 more months, like maybe if you came off, it would have been better. Maybe we don't know where your set point is and how you would have adapted. But, if you're not ready, you're not ready. Some people don't ever plan on coming off. Some people want to stay on it for a long time to feel safe, and that's fine. But staying on it is not wrong.
I
you
agree.
know?
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
And that's unless you have like multiple endocrine neoplasia, there might be a wrong
Oh.
answer. Right?
Can GLP-1s help with steroid weight gain? Yes, they sure can. I mean, they help with weight gain that from other medications like antipsychotics and antidepressants that people get, to the point where psychiatrists are actually prescribing them in addition to them to get people to get some of that weight off. Because some of those cause crazy metabolic problems.
But again, risk benefit. You don't want people
Yeah.
going off their cycles either.
Correct. Because if they gain weight, a lot of people will stop because they're gaining weight and they can't stop, but they can't stop eating.
Right. Hashimoto's thyroid disease. Your doctor's taking you off for Hashimoto's? Is it a naturopath? Sorry.
Yeah, there's no reason to come off of that I can think of. There's nothing in the literature, and there's up here, there's no reason why.
Bizarro. Okay.
Yeah. And then Oslo is on Monjo 5. But now that she's at a normal BMI, doctor won't prescribe 7.5 and she's gaining, or he's gaining. That doesn't make any sense either. I mean, like Dr. Gibbons was at her goal weight and every once in a while had to go
For
up
a
a little
year.
bit to get her brain to shut the hell up.
Unfortunately, my mouth does not shut the hell up. So there's
Yeah.
that.
So sometimes you got to go up, and it's possible you go up for a month and get going again and you drop back down. I would talk to him again, and if not, I would find someone else. That's that's the easiest way to say it.
Let's see. Yeah. It's hard for doctors, especially primary doctors, to know a lot about GLP-1s, right? Because what are they going to be most exposed to is what's in the media. I don't know. Yes, my brain won't shut up. And that was last week for me. I was like, you know what? And I gave up. I was like, I can't, I'm just going to eat whatever the hell I want, whatever the hell I want, because I'm done. I'm done, including frosting out of the container.
Yeah.
Because I was done. I just couldn't fight anymore. I could not fight anymore. And I'm fine this week. I was like, okay, good. Thank God.
Also, try talking to your doctor again. Explain it this way. Not like, hey, I don't want to lose more weight. It's just that I'm gaining. My brain won't shut up. That's what this med is for me. And see if you can kind of convince them, or at least to try it for a month. I mean, we have patients that have gotten pretty close to, well, they're at like a lower BMI and they're happy at this lower BMI. And it's just a discussion between us and them. So maybe that might work with your doc before leaving. But I would give it a go. And that doctor doesn't know either. So I agree with you somewhat, Dr. Mo, about doctors not knowing about these things a year and a half ago. There's no reason that they shouldn't start learning about these medications
but
at this point.
When do they have time to learn?
These are the future of diabetes and
When do they
weight
have time
loss.
to learn?
There's no reason to not
are.
know a little bit more.
I know I'm too nice about people.
Like I said, a year and a half ago, absolutely. Now, not understanding compounding and how to order all this stuff, sure, I don't blame them for that either. But to not understand like the brand name ones and this class of medications, especially since Byetta has been out for 18 years, there's no reason anymore.
I still have people who tell me it's just an appetite suppressant. I'm like, mother of God. Have you seen, even the media says no now. Like, it is widespread. It is not. It is true metabolic repair.
I don't even care if they don't know the exact everything, like a Krebs cycle type thing that this does, you know? They just know, oh, it does metabolic stuff on the inside and helps you like get fuller faster. Done. That's all you need to know.
Brain, stomach, rest of my metabolic health.
And then dosing protocols, you know, shit. Tune into 1 hour. They learn a whole bunch of stuff. Take it back with their patients.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should like, hey, are you in primary care and want to know more?
There you go.
You know what we could do? Oh, God,
that would help way more people.
We could help a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
I could put on LinkedIn, if we do a plan for like an hour practical use of GLP-1s, a round table discussion for free, throw it on LinkedIn. Who wants to come chat? That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
January. After this EMR is launched.
Make it a little longer. and I'll see if Dante get on. And then so if they have a super technical question, we have somebody that can answer that.
That would be amazing. Okay. All right. We're going to do that.
If they have some ridiculous question, there's nothing he can't answer.
Dante will say, well, on page 461 of this textbook, this is what it says. Please hold. The man is magic. I'm going to do Bethany's first. It's going to be a real answer. What do we think about eating every 2 hours, regardless of being hungry? I think it's a recipe for disaster and weight gain.
The only way I say that, with the caveat, if you are starting the medications and you're literally eating nothing and you're having to eat 2 hours, which is literally like a Dixie cup full of protein shake and half an apple slice, go for it.
That's different, right?
Yes, but like a small meal every 2 hours, unless you're trying to gain weight for bodybuilding, nope. There's no reason.
Can we go over the set point thing again?
Yeah, we can. So the body kind of gets like a set point and it kind of like wants to maintain that weight. It can happen kind of anywhere. To break that stall, you might have to eat a little less than, well, you're going to have to eat less than maintenance, but a little lower for a little bit to get your weight going again. And then your body will adapt to the new weight and then you'll back to the same process. Where that occurs, it's hard to say. Is it every 5 pounds? Maybe. Will you drop another 15 and hit another set point? Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, I found out 123 is definitely a set point for me. 122, 123. I thought that was my goal. It isn't. I feel better lower, and I need to be, I think, lower body fat with a little bit more muscle mass. So your numbers are different. You know, they may be different than you think.
Yeah, and it works both ways with losing weight and trying to gain weight. Like in my bodybuilding days, trying to gain weight, like, it did not matter sometimes how much I ate. I was stuck at 230, period. I don't care if I ate 6,000 calories every day. It just was not absorbing it and I was not getting it.
Good job, Vicky.
That's awesome. So close. So close. Lynette's taking Pepsi daily because of acid reflux.
Oh, yeah. There you go, Neil. What a rip.
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat normal. For some people to get a little bit of acid reflux, you might have had a little bit before. It also could be the specific foods that you're eating. Some people like just can't eat like red meat anymore on these medications because it's sitting in their stomach so long, they start to get a little bit of reflux from it. It could also be the timing. Like some people, if you're eating way too much before you go to bed, or too late at night, especially red meat, you're going to wake up every day with like reflux. So it can be time dependent, food dependent. So I might even like do a little food diary and kind of see like, oh crap, every time I have broccoli for dinner, I wake up with reflux and have to take Pepcid and die the next day. So it might be as simple as a diet change.
So, Mark, we don't use ECW for hydration levels. We literally go on the color of your pee and the way you feel. So, because not everybody has, it says my internet connection is unstable. I don't know why. Not everybody has access to looking at your ECW. It's just, we don't routinely use it.
Not sure if you're still there. You might have got broken up. Hopefully everybody can still hear me. I don't know. I guess if you're broken up, probably not. Amanda, can you see her? Oh,
I can still hear.
okay.
I can still hear, but she's frozen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm wondering if the patrons is still here. So you guys are breaking up from Laura.
Hold on. Let me go to.
Oh, yeah, we're all breaking up now.
All right. Well, I just switched TikTok to cellular instead of Wi-Fi. So I hope that part will be better. Okay. We only have a couple more minutes anyway. So, because we get off close to 11. Heaven week 6, haven't lost anything, fell on 0.5. Go up maybe, or eat less. I know it sounds super like.
At 0.5 though, you're not even a weight loss, technically a weight loss dose.
Gotta go. Yeah,
because 1.7 and 2.4.
Yep.
A lot of people, 1 is a great dose for them. So it might just be time to go up.
Yeah. Jeremy's asked twice about a white count. There's a lot more to that question than we can probably.
Yeah, the white count, it depends if you're sick, if you've got like that's a primary care question.
Lots of different reasons. You could be sick with a bacterial infection. You could have been recently sick and throwing up and it's reactive. You could have been in some kind of accident and it goes up.
But it's not
Um,
130.
yeah,
So we're
you
not like,
could,
it's not like go to the ER. Oh my God. It's, hey, check it out with your provider, get it redone.
you're dehydrated when you had your labs drawn. Like there's lots of different reasons it's a little bit elevated. 2D's having a lot of suppression, but no, I can't see no weight. I'm assuming no weight loss.
That might be the mathematical reality.
Yeah, you still might be suppressed, but still eating a little bit too much. This is where I would kind of keep track of your calories and everything, like calories, protein, fats, carbs for the day. And this means everything. Like, so anything you put in your mouth, you have to keep track of. So if you're cooking dinner and you start to have little snack bites while you're doing it, you got to keep track of those. Any condiments you use, you got to keep track of those. And then if you don't want to do all that stuff, I would focus on protein first. 2D from your profile, I'm assuming you're female, so 100 grams of protein per day, 150 for men is where I would start. Oh, I have a bug behind me. And see if just doing the 100 grams of protein a day will get you going. And I would start the day with 30 grams of protein. That typically will keep you a little bit fuller throughout the day. Mark protein rules the day. It sure does. And I think if you try the protein trick with starting the day with 30 to 40 grams, whether it's a shake, egg whites and a shake, whatever, I think you'll in the studies, people eat about 300 to 400 calories less, which is a half pound a week just from doing that. So give that a go. Because I know I've done that and I've tried like starting my day with donuts. Holy crap, the rest of the day is a nightmare. And I don't have food. I don't think I have like food issues with regard to that, but I crave sugar all day. I want donuts all day then.
Yeah. For real. Well, that's why I do birthday cake protein shakes and stuff, that actually helps me because I don't crave anything after,
Yeah.
especially when I eat it with a little bit of fruit. I don't crave anything after, but it's sweet while I'm having it. So it's kind of fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Protein rules a day.
Yeah, there's
Protein
a lot of
for
protein stuff. And the other thing is, so for some people, 100 grams of protein is a ton. Dudes, 150. That is a lot of protein. If you are doing 30 right now and you're at 62 next week every day, that's amazing. It will get better and just keep working at it. It's hard to get there. So just keep working at it, figuring out what foods you like that are high in protein that you will eat and are easy to eat for you.
Yep.
Can you provide a brand of protein shake that you use? So a lot of us use Fairlife. It's a Fairlife Core Power, and it's 42 grams of protein per. You can try that one. I would go to like the store supplement shop and grab some either powder or like if they have samples, some powder, if not like some of the pre-mades, and grab a couple different flavors or a couple different brands that you may like and try them before you buy a case. Some people do not like the Fairlife, so they bother their stomachs. The cheapest method is protein powder. You can mix it with water. I think that's the grossest way. I like just unsweetened almond milk. It makes it way creamier if you don't want to use regular milk because it will keep the calories way down. I think instead of like 120 calories, it's 30. So, but yeah, try different ones. I think they're all pretty good. My favorite powder is Syntha 6 by BSN. That's my favorite. Comes in a big red tub. Otherwise, if you're at Costco, they have Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard Whey, also a pretty good protein. It's relatively cheap there. It tastes good. Mix is easy.
Agreed. I actually bought a big thing of Devotion because it makes really good pancakes. But it's expensive as hell.
There you go. Mark uses Fairlife milk. That's another option too.
Yeah, I mean it's 13 grams of protein. Like this stuff adds up. I mean, think about it. If you're the type of person who likes to have a glass of milk with dinner, you use the Fairlife. My kid now drinks it, and yes, I know it's a lot of money, but it's better than him being unhealthy, right? Like,
yes. So, Mark, they are expensive, but when you put it in perspective, what you would be eating for a dinner, or if you stopped at like at a restaurant or fast food, it's affordable. But yes, when you look at that core power and it's $4 for 42 grams of protein, if you stop McDonald's on the way to work, that's $10. So,
and that $10 is going to become 10,000 down the road for your bypass walk-in evaluation. So anyhow,
yes, you can regain muscle, lift weights.
Yes. Maintain what you have, right? Because you're carrying around extra body weight. So just maintain what you have. while you're losing the excess fat, right? We're not losing all our body fat. It's not the goal. You're losing your excess dead weight. So that I think is a good takeaway for the day, right? We're not looking at being emaciated. We're looking at healthy lifestyles, healthy bodies. So if you have questions, feel free. We have amspublicgroup.com. That's our Facebook group. Go hop in there. We'll be here next week. I have to go because I'm late for the private meeting. So the VIP success coaching is right now. If you want information on that, just DM me success on any of the platforms, the word success, and we'll get you info for that. Can you regain muscle that's lost? Yes, the same way a bodybuilder builds up muscle. Same. Oh, we figured it out, by the way, real quick. Under perfectly optimal conditions, women can gain 2 pounds of muscle a month under perfect conditions.
Wow.
So that's not bad. So if I gain a pound a month in muscle, that'd be freaking awesome. I'm looking for a half, for real, And think about this. How much do I have to increase my food intake to get a half a pound of muscle? Lifting heavy. By the way, I'm so freaking sore. There you go, Alan. If you're out there listening, I'm sore. But think about it. Half a pound of muscle isn't that much more food. So that's what we're working on dialing in, is how much, because the old bulking where you have to bulk and then lose fat is not how I want to do it. I want to do it just really gradually and just build it and get stronger, get better balance. So this old lady doesn't break a hip. All right. We'll see you guys next week. I got to go to the private meeting.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.